Are you relying on Zillow, Redfin, and other home valuation sites to determine the value of a property or a particular home? The answer to this question is yes. Trust me, you are going to want to stick around because in this video, I am going to show you how to accurately find the value of any property or home. Whether you're buying, selling, or just wanting to get more information on what it takes to correctly determine a home's value, this video is for you. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video so that you can learn how websites like Zillow, Redfin, and even the county appraisal district is not a reliable source of information for home values. And if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Stacey Russell, your Northwest Houston realtor, educating buyers, sellers, and investors on all things real estate. I make videos like this every single week to keep you informed and educated, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and become a part of my community. The first step to finding a home's value, also called fair market value, is to figure out what your subject property is. The subject property is the particular property that you're looking to find the value of. If you're a seller, this could be your home, or if you're looking to buy, it could be a home that you are looking to write an offer on. Once you know the address of this subject property, you're going to need to gather some information, including the name of the subdivision and the section number, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and half baths, the square footage and lot size of the property, the year the home was built, any updates or upgrades that have been made to the property or any kind of special features, and the location of the property. When I'm talking about location, I want you to keep things in mind like, does it sit in a cul-de-sac, or is it on a busy street or near a highway? Is it in a floodplain or a floodway? All of the information that you can find about a subject property plays a crucial role in determining its home value because no two homes are the same. Even homes that are identical sit on different parcels of land. And those parcels of land may be more or less desirable in the eyes of an appraiser or a buyer. You can typically find information about a subject property on the MLS and home valuation sites like Zillow, Redfin, and even on the county appraisal district website. However, there are situations where you're not going to be able to find a ton of information about a property. That's okay. You're just going to have to do a little bit more digging to try to find some information on the property. The next step in determining a home's value is to take the information that you learned about the subject property and find similar sold comparable properties. This is where a realtor or someone who has access to the MLS can be really helpful to you. So the state of Texas is a non-disclosure state, which means that the final sales price of a property does not have to be publicly disclosed. And finding information about the final sales price and sold terms without the use of the MLS is nearly impossible. We also really want to focus our attention on sold comps because that data gives us the most accurate information on what a buyer was willing to pay for a particular home or piece of property. And when you're looking for comps, it's important to know that most of the time, buyers are going to need some kind of financing in order to purchase the home. So an appraisal is going to be tied to the loan. And since a lender is never going to loan someone more money than what a home is worth, you're going to have to think like an appraiser. An appraisal is an opinion of value based on certain criteria. This criteria includes a minimum of 3 sold comparable properties that have sold no more than 6 months ago. The comp should be within a 1-mile radius of the subject property, but if you can actually hone in on a particular neighborhood or section of that neighborhood, that's even better. The square footage and lot size of the subject property, plus or minus 10%. The year the subject property was built, plus or minus 5 years, giving you a 10-year span. Similar updates and upgrades as the subject property, and you can use pictures on the MLS, Zillow, or Redfin to justify these comparable properties to the subject property. And similar location of the subject property. So once again, we want to think about where that property sits. Is it in a neighborhood? Is it in a cul-de-sac or on a busy street? Is it in a floodplain? So all of those things are going to make a particular property more or less desirable. Now, depending on the market and the sales that took place in those 6 months, you may or may not have been able to pull up 3 sold comps. If not, you may need to tweak some of the criteria to see if that helps pull up more comparable properties. I like to tweak one category at a time. For instance, if my subject property is a 4-bedroom home, I'll go back to the criteria and type in 3 to 4 bedrooms. Or I could also put 3+ to see if there are even more properties that pop up. However, you have to remember that when you start tweaking criteria, you're getting further away from what the true comparable properties are. So you would really just want to do this as a way to justify the value of homes that have sold in a broader sense. So keeping in mind that there may be some adjustments to the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, the radius in the area. It could even be the lot size or the square footage. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind so that we don't get too far off base from where our subject property is. Once you have a minimum of 3 sold comparable properties, you'll be able to take a look at the sold prices and get a pretty accurate idea of where your subject property's home value should be. This range in prices of comparable properties shouldn't be too large, so you'll just have to use the comps to justify the exact fair market value of a home. So now that you've watched this video and you know how to correctly and accurately find a home's value, let's talk about why sites like Zillow, Redfin, and even the County Appraisal District website is not a great source of information when it comes to determining home value. So Zillow, Redfin, and sites like them, including sites from a realtor or a broker where you have to enter your property address to get your home value, these are actually pulling comps that are not really comps. They often include home sales from properties that are in a wider radius or sold further back than 6 months ago, and they don't necessarily take into account all of the updates and upgrades that have been made to a home. Additionally, because Texas is a non-disclosure state, these websites don't have accurate information on what comparable properties sold for. And this is why you get such a drastic difference in prices when you go from Zillow to Redfin to the Appraisal District. According to the Harris County Appraisal District, which is where I live, the market value of my home is $303,307, and the appraised value is $255,000. This is because we've lived in our home for 10 years and we have a homestead exemption. The appraisal district also doesn't know what the inside of your home looks like, so it doesn't take into consideration any additions or updates or upgrades that have been made to a home. Was this information helpful to you? It's really important to me that I am creating content for you to keep you educated and informed on what's going on in the real estate world. I really want to give back to my community of people who are following me, so please let me know what you learned in the comments, or if you have any particular questions, or just have topics that you want me to dive deeper into. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.